All right, so take a good look at this. It's a massive landfill, right? A huge monument to all the stuff we throw away. But what if I told you that buried deep inside all that trash is a really powerful and totally untapped source of energy? What if this place wasn't just a problem, but a huge part of the solution? That's exactly what we're going to dig into. We're going to explore this incredible project that is literally turning trash into treasure. It's a story about how a major source of pollution is being transformed into a clean energy powerhouse, and how one single landfill is taking a serious bite out of climate change. Now, to really get why this is such a game changer, we have to talk about the real problem with landfills. And it's not what you probably think. It's not the smell or even the space they take up. It's an invisible gas that has a massive impact on our climate. And that gas is called landfill gas, or LFG for short. See, when all the organic stuff we throw out, food scraps, paper, all that, starts to break down, it releases this cocktail of gases. The main ingredient, the one we really need to worry about, is methane. And here's the kicker. Methane is a super pollutant. It's like CO2 on steroids, more than 25 times more potent when it comes to trapping heat. That makes it a massive driver of climate change. And for most landfills around the world, that's pretty much where the story ends. The gas just leaks out, day after day, year after year, just silently warming the planet. That's the baseline, the business as usual way of doing things. But it really doesn't have to be this way. Which brings us to a project in Brazil that decided to completely flip the script. Let's take a closer look at the NovaGerar Landfill Gas-to-Energy Project. This project is located down in the state of Rio de Janeiro, right next to the city of Nova Iguaçu. And listen, this isn't some facility out in the middle of nowhere. It's right next door to a community of about 800,000 people. So you can imagine that finding a better solution here was pretty darn urgent. And the scale of this place, it's just mind-boggling. Get this, every single day, another 4,000 tons of waste gets trucked in. That is a mountain of trash, which, as we now know, means it's also a potential methane factory. So how on earth do you take a problem that big and turn it into a solution? Well, it takes some seriously clever engineering. Let's break down the tech that takes this harmful gas and actually puts it on the power grid. It all starts, logically, with capturing the gas. Instead of just letting it escape, the project has installed this huge network of wells and pipes that act like giant straws, sucking that landfill gas from deep inside the waste pile. It's a really efficient, active collection system. Okay, so once the gas is collected, it has two possible destinations. It can be sent to a flare and just be safely burned off, or, and this is the really cool part, it can be used as fuel to generate electricity. Either way, it's a massive improvement over just letting it vent into the atmosphere. And this really shows you the difference in a nutshell. On the left, you've got the baseline, invisible methane just pouring into the atmosphere. And on the right, you have the project. That same gas is captured and either converted or burned off in that flare stack. It is a total night and day difference for the climate. So let's just run through that three-step process. First, they capture the gas, and they do it with an incredible 95% efficiency. Second, any gas they don't use is destroyed. It's sent to a high-tech flare that turns that potent methane into much less harmful CO2. And third, this is the real magic. They generate. Most of the gas is piped to generators where it becomes fuel to create clean electricity for Brazil's national grid. So that's the how. Now let's get to the how much, because the numbers behind this project are genuinely impressive, and they show an impact that goes way beyond just making some electricity. Let's start with the big one. Every single year, this one project prevents the equivalent of nearly 600,000 tons of carbon dioxide from entering the atmosphere. To put that into perspective, that's like taking over 130,000 cars off the road annually. Just a massive win for the climate. And how about the energy side of things? Well, the facility has a planned capacity of over 27 megawatts. That's enough clean electricity to power tens of thousands of homes, all of it generated from something we used to just throw away and forget about. And if you zoom out to look at the long-term impact, over its first 10 years, the project is set to reduce emissions by more than 4 million tons of CO2 equivalent. This isn't just some temporary fix. We are talking about a sustained, large-scale climate solution. But you know what? The benefits go way beyond just the climate numbers. Capturing all that gas actually makes the landfill safer. It reduces the risk of explosions. It helps protect local water supplies. It creates good jobs for people in the community. And just as important, it serves as this amazing demonstration for the rest of the country, proving what is actually possible. I mean, this all sounds pretty amazing, right?
It turns a huge problem into a solution, it creates clean energy, and it helps a local community. So it really begs the question, why isn't every big landfill in the world doing this? Well, the answer comes down to one absolutely crucial concept.
And that concept is additionality. It's a key principle in carbon markets. A project is only considered additional if it couldn't have been built without the extra money from selling carbon credits. To put it another way, would this project exist anyway? If the answer is no, then it's additional.
And this project's own financial numbers prove the point perfectly. They looked at the net present value, which is basically just a fancy way to calculate if a project will make money over its lifetime. The do-nothing baseline, of course, has a value of 0. But building and running this project without the income from carbon credits, it would result in a loss of over 8 million Brazilian reais. It's just not profitable by itself. And this quote from the project's own design document really says it all. There is simply no business case for just capturing and flaring the gas. It costs money, it doesn't make money. The only way the math works is with the financial push from the carbon market, which pays the project for every single ton of emissions it reduces. So, at the end of the day, this incredible project exists because of climate finance. It is a perfect example of turning our biggest environmental liabilities into genuine assets. And that leaves us with a final, powerful question. If this is what just one landfill can achieve, what could thousands of them do?